I'm already live.
Are you live?
Yes.
You're not live?
Yes.
Damn.
Is there something you need?
Yeah.
What?
The charger. Are you live? Are you stuck
Yes,
in?
I'm live.
Are you stuck in?
And people can hear me say, I'm live.
I'm tapping it right now. You're live.
Hi. Hi, Vanessa. yes, my girl. Hey. How are you guys? What's up? We are talking about how to be consistent in 2025 and catching up. It's actually 40 degrees, so it's warm out. It's warm considering what it has been. Like the last week it was like 9 degrees and I was outside. Can you believe it? But that's pretty warm. It's pretty standard. You don't need gloves or a hat or anything like that. I'm sure Chicago is like not even. I'm sure Chicago is like the 9 to 40 is a big difference, but that's how it's been. So sometimes you don't even know like how actually cold it's gonna be because you'll go out thinking it's gonna be like, oh, okay, it's fine. Hi, Simply Spice. You'll think it's gonna be fine, and then you're freezing. I never know what to put on or what coat to wear. I just be outside. Hi, Mrs. Van. How are you guys? Hi, Christina. You made it on. Oh, I'm so proud of you. So this is gonna be totally casual. I wrote like things down, but I was like, I just want to like just talk and make it not be so, I guess, so like school like. But one of the things that I guess for me, like part of my growth last year was being consistent. And I know a lot of people have trouble with that, but in the chaos, you have to be consistent and being consistent, you have to set up like processes and systems because otherwise you're just gonna fall flat. Let me see. So it's 11 people. I mean, did you guys have any questions? 'Cause I know I told you guys I was going to go live like after I did my video, and my video was like last month. I just feel like I've been catching my breath after that video, like just kind of like just posting my content. But if anybody had any specific questions about that or my transition like into full-time content creation, you can ask because that could be helpful too, just to start things off so it doesn't feel like I'm a school teacher. Hi, Angie. Okay. Nobody has questions? Nobody has questions? It's like any questions, anyone? Any questions? Oh, okay. How long did it take you to go from planning to doing? I probably will say, I think once I really got serious and I knew that I wanted to leave my job and I was like, okay, like, I think when I had that moment, especially in therapy, when I had that awakening, like, okay, like I need to plan to get out of it. It probably took me about like a few weeks of planning because I had to be realistic on what I needed to do or what I needed. And I think first was just taking into account like how much is my rent, how much is my hefty bills, how much would I need to be making, just kind of seeing how much I needed to save. I knew, obviously, Christina, you know how toxic it was, but I knew I had to have a certain amount of money saved. So that was like the first part. Like, so from January to like May, I was like, okay, every bonus I get, I have to save and stack it. And then just working through that, working out the kinks. But for me, it was the money. It was the money and just really making sure I had that saved. So I would probably say like once I really wrote everything down and what I wanted to do and what I needed and how much my monthly bills were, that took about a week or two. But like really getting into place was like those months of saving my money. Thank you, Mrs. Van. Like leaving was the hardest part, but it was the best part. And I'm so glad I left. Like even just hearing little whispers in the ear of what's happening at that organization, I'm like, I left at the right time. It did not get any better at all. But I also too, I think, do you have to I did. Hi, Kathleen. I did create an LLC, but I actually had an LLC when I first started my business. My best friend's mom told me to get an LLC when I had nothing. So thank God for her because she told me to do that. Like when I first started my blog, she's like, "You need to get an LLC," and I was like, "Okay." Like I'm like, I don't even make money off of this. So I did that like the first. I had an LLC like the first year of my business, and I didn't make any money until like 5 years later. But I already had an LLC. I'm glad I did it then because then I didn't really have anything, so it was easier to do. So I'm glad I listened to her and got that done. How would you compare last January to this January in terms of consistency and quality of content? I feel I feel like last year I was, even though I had my assistants in place, I feel like I was scrambling. Like I told you, like sometimes when I did the office outfits of the days, I was just literally putting the freaking thing up by the door, filling my outfit and going. So sometimes it's just starting with what you can actually do. So I know sometimes with consistency and working, it's hard to be as creative. So I'm like, let me just do what I'm naturally doing, which is getting dressed for work. So I'll put the tripod up and just shoot my outfit of the day. Compared to now, I get to actually think about like my Instagram content. Like even this week I'm going away, but I get to actually be like, all right, so what do I want to post this week? Like, do I want to do outfit of the day? I get ready with me. Do I want to show my skincare routine? I get to think a little bit more and be a little bit more free. Whereas like last year, yeah, I was consistent and had systems, but it was just like, all right, just put something up, just put something up. Where now I feel like because I'm not stressed, I could actually think about what I want to post rather than like scrambling to post, if that makes sense. But still, even last year, and I still do this now. And now, hopefully, with the if the weather gets a little bit warmer, every 2 weeks I batch shoot content like street style looks in the city. So even when I was working, I did that every other Sunday. Now I do it every other Saturday. So I have those pictures to post within like the 2 week span of so being consistent. Hi, Carmen. So I would say the first. Hi, in Stop PhD. My plans for the New York Fashion Week, it's very, very loose. I got like a few invites to certain things, but like you literally don't know until like the week before comes where everything is solidified. I sent out a few emails, but I didn't really hear anything. I didn't hear anything, so I'll see. Like I'll know I'll be outside, but I don't know what I'm doing for sure yet. So I get my own brand deals. I don't have management. I've been so lucky because thank you, Carmen. I think my skincare routine is working. I have a video going live today and I tried something new that I said in the video, but it broke me out, so I stopped. but now I'm using something else, and I've been using that for a few days, and my skin is getting much better. But yes, every brand deal that I've gotten, somebody asked me this my last video, like that video, like, do I pitch brands or do brands email me? Luckily, they email me. I don't really pitch. The times I have pitched, I'm not saying pitch doesn't work because I just don't pitch enough, but the times I've pitched, I got like shitty deals. Like they'll be like trying to pretty much have me work for free. And I'm like, no, I'm not working for free. But everything usually comes in my inbox, which I'm very, very blessed to have that. Hi, CC Gemini. Okay, so the first system to stay consistent is finding a system in the first place and finding what works for you, obviously. So for me, batch creating, like if you have a full-time job and you want to do this, you have to batch create. You have to batch create. You can always edit like at work, on your break, or like when you have small pockets of time, but I batch create. Like Sunday was my day to like create and do things. So like if I knew I wanted to post the week, and I just worked in a week to week's time, I didn't try to extend it too far, but I would just create a bunch of stuff for Instagram. Like at least I'll be like, okay, I have to create at least 2 reels just to have them and spread them out through the week. And if you can show up 1 to 2 times a week, then that's the time you show up, 1 to 2 times a week. I probably, when I was working full time, I didn't show up on Instagram more than 3 times a week. And then YouTube, I always had that video planned once a week. Hi, Kawana. I think, Kawana, I answered your question. If you just came in, you asked me before if brands, like I pitch brands or brands pitch me. And I said that brands come in my inbox. I pitch, but every time I pitch, I don't really get the deal that I want. It's always like a shitty deal. I'm still working on that and working through that, how to pitch and get the deals that I want. But it's usually like a lot of whitelisting, or they want me to post something. The brand will like my content, but then they want me to stay with that. They want to whitelist the content or use it for like 3 months. I'm like, no. So that's the answer to that. But I do want to pitch more, but it's hard. It's hard to get a response sometimes. And then before you know it, you're pitching a bunch. Like I pitched a few different brands for New York Fashion Week, actually. And I'm waiting to see if they reply. But sometimes brands will just ignore your email and you have to like follow up and see what. Most times the answer is no, but I still try to do it. Do you reach out to other content creators for advice regarding pitching to brands? No, I haven't. I haven't. Like I know like some of the people that I know of, if they work with the brand, I'll ask them like, how was it working with them? Because sometimes like if somebody asks me how was it working with the brand, I'll give my honest feedback. Because some brands like that I worked with last year, I'm like, never again. I'm never working with you again. But I have to ask, especially I definitely like to keep in my network and asking, because I'm not a gatekeeper. So I'll be like, oh, pitch this person. Or it's good to know too, like if I work with the brand and I've seen somebody else that I know who work with them, like, hey, like, is this fair pay? Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes they'll do that too, like try to pay somebody like much less than the other person deserves. Have you been shopping for New York for Fashion Week? Not, I won't say shopping. You guys see my vlogs. I've been having trouble. I haven't found a thing. So I got like that, Frankie shop jacket, but I don't got no outfit yet. So I don't know. This year what I'm doing too is like creating like little mood boards. I think I told you guys that. I'll talk about that later in another video, like little mood boards and seeing what inspires me and trying to think of like what I want to look like rather than just buying a whole bunch of shit and just returning it, if that makes sense. Simply Spice. Are you looking to find management? I don't think so. Not for now. I have trust issues. I like to control, and I don't know. I kind of want to be in control. It's hard to find people that you trust because I hear so many horror stories about management, how it could be a good thing. And I've known people, I've met a few influencers who have management, and they take a big cut. They take like 30%. That's a lot. That's a lot, especially if I've been having success on myself. But I don't know. I think maybe down the line, like if I have hired a manager, like I don't know if I would want to be at a big agency. It would be somebody who would specifically like work for me, because then how do I know that you're going to get me the best deals and not the other girl on the roster? See, trust issues. um Yeah, 30%, isn't that a lot? That's a lot. And like, I'm already a micro influencer, so it's if I was a had a bigger following, then okay, if I'm getting 60, $70,000 a deal, cool, take well, even 30% of that's high, but if I'm getting like, four figures and you're taking 30%, like that leaves me with nothing. And you do have to be very, very careful, because some people like they take advantage, and you have to make sure that they have your best interest. And I think also thinking about it, like I know they'll probably get to a point where I'll need to get one, but I will definitely be interviewing like a job, because you want somebody who has your best interest and also aligning of what you want your brand to look like, or what you want to, achieve and what you want to get. So it just depends. Like right now, I don't really feel like I need one right at this moment. Um, I don't, you know what I mean? Like the brands I want to work with, I kind of have worked with them. So you have to be so careful, so careful. And yes, Carmen, shopping was very dry. It's been very, very dry. All right, Christina, with the word. Christina, my best friend's in here, and she's been DMing me some words today, words of wisdom. I'm like, okay, girl. She said, build your business to be solid before outsourcing your power. And that's true. You know what I mean? Because like right now, a lot of people, they like to take advantage of the business of influencing, and they might not even have like the background that's necessary, to be doing. And it's a lot of trust, and just not yet. I'm not there yet at all. I kind of will want to outsource somebody doing like admin things for me. I feel a lot of influencers are feeling the weight of overconsumption and are trying to say have more real life content. Yes. I mean, one of the things, I'll be honest, one of the things I was afraid of becoming a full-time creator was like people thinking that I'm just like just an influencer, you know what I mean? Like, and I thought I was scared for a while because I thought my job made me relatable, but then I'm like, that job was awful. um, but even though I'm a full-time creator now, I do like to say my content is real, I talk about real things. And I think a lot of people, I didn't expect so many people to, like, I expected people to watch the video, of course, but I didn't think so many people would relate to actually what I was going through, like leaving a toxic job. And that's why I said in the video, it was more than just becoming an influencer. It's learning when to leave toxicity and grow and believe and change your mindset, because everybody doesn't want to be an influencer. That video inspired people there was like a nurse practitioner who commented like, hey, I hate my job. I hate my patient overload. But again, she was just like used to dealing with the ongoing process. So that's why I was like, even if you don't want to be a full-time influencer, somebody wants to do something else. And sometimes we just get sucked in. I would probably say my favorite brand to work with was Fresh. They were really nice and very easy. And then Fresh, and I really enjoyed Glam Squad. They were very, very easy, like easy, and the best brands to work with are ones that let you be creative. They're kind of like not like having you change things, but sometimes it could be really hard. And it's very interesting, like Angie, that you say that like real life content. Like, what do you mean? Like, are they just trying to say like what be outside, or are they just trying to? Because I'm like, this is my life. It's very, very real. Because even when I have thoughts of like what's happening in the world, I try to share them in a respectable way, but I can't ignore how I'm feeling. I guess vlogging, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard because even I feel like in my vlog that will drop later today, like it's so funny because I was vlogging Houston while all this crap was happening, from the TikTok shit to um the inauguration, and like I speak about it, you know. I know who my audience is, and if you don't agree with me, then everybody could just leave, you know. But yeah, real life. I vlog real life. I do real life. You wear heels, boots, 24 hours. What? Huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. I've heard things like when people get management, like I heard a creator, I'm not obviously not gonna say who, say that they couldn't post what they wanted to post. And I was like, oh no, like I'm posting what I want to post. Like I don't want anybody like controlling what I post, you know what I mean? Like you just have to be very, very careful because like you're not gonna stop me from posting what I want to post. I can see it becoming predictable. And I get it. Like sometimes you become large where you can't do it all. It's very, very hard. I think it becomes to a level you have to decide what you're going to outsource. Like I'm sure if I get when I get bigger, let's speak into existence, maybe I'll outsource the editing, even though I don't really want to outsource that either. But like, you know what I'm saying? Or outsource, you know, maybe the person will just help with emails and things like that. You have to kind of decide what you outsource, but like the business deals, like I want to be a part of it, you know? Yeah, me too. Me too. But then also too, I have creative ruts. Like even like now, I was telling you guys like in the vlogs, like, oh my God, like I feel like like not as creative. So trying to find other things. My bestie and friend, we're starting a book club. She's starting a book club. So if you guys are interested, I'll tell her to drop the info below. Yes, Christina, I put you on the spot. A book club, just it's a lot happening right now. I know we're talking about content creation consistency, but so much is happening right now just with how we spend our time, our money. Oh my God. See, Mrs. Van, you're into books, right? I'll tell her to comment her the name of the book club. But I'm like, yeah, I gotta start reading. I need to be empowered, finding creativity. She said self-help, justice, social justice, lit. You know what I mean? Just so we can stay woke and just find different ways to support each other. That's why I kind of want to do this live. Like, yes, it's about consistency and processes, but just finding ways that we can connect and talk about what we're doing. I gotta get like I have to get back into reading because I deleted TikTok off my phone, y'all, because it's messing up my concentration. Like I feel like I can't concentrate. I feel like I can't focus. Like I just like I used to love to read. Oh, Angie, you started a book club. I'm gonna watch the content chain. Like I'm sharing my books. Yeah, like I that's something that's on my list of my goals this year is to definitely read more. Like I need to read more. Like I'm absorbing, and also too I talk about creative flow and not having creativity, but then I'm just scrolling all day. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it just can't be that way. I used to read all the time before the social media. Yeah. That's my ADD. I can't. I told my best friend I was like I can't even focus for a second. I'm like picking up my phone and looking, scrolling, looking at stuff, and then you spend an hour. What were you looking at? And I know it's my job, so of course I'm going to be online, but there's just no reason for me to be on there. And so, especially what just happened, I need to just go ahead and just delete my account. We don't even have Barnes and Nobles in like my neighborhood. They closed it. What to wear to our book club meetings, and hopefully, you know, I'm speaking to existence when Christina comes back. We can go have like a little book club, and we can actually meet in person and talk about books and fashion. What to wear to Barnes and Nobles. Listen, we gotta find hobbies. We gotta find hobbies. I love that. Okay. Okay. So, how many of you guys, I know like with content creation, this was when I was working, this was probably one of the hardest things for me to do. Like, do you guys actually schedule like brainstorming sessions? Books and fashion, like actually brainstorming, like just like I told you guys about my journal that I have, like my notebook, and I sectioned a part of it to just have where I just brainstorm. I just write ideas down, what I'm thinking. I do it in my notes app a lot if I think of something on the go, but I like to do that a lot too. It definitely helps with content creation as well. Because for so long, sometimes even with being on a strict schedule and working so much, like you're like, okay, what do I like? What am I creatively thinking? Like, what do I want to do? Do you guys do that? Brainstorm? Yeah. I thought about that too. Changing my environment helps with creativity blocks. Well, let's see if when I come back from Jamaica, I'm just sparked with creativity. But even sometimes, like I will say, like working from home, it has its ups and downs because sometimes you just feel like, oh my God, like sometimes I'll just be like, oh my God, I gotta get out of this house. I got to get out of this house just to see something else or do something different. Oh, come on, I love that. I want to brainstorm with y'all. It definitely helps. Take a drive, book a flight, book a hotel for a few days. What heels, boots I can't wear? Like, what do you mean? Like uncomfortable? I don't understand. Well, I'm booking a flight. The flight is booked. So that should be exciting to help with that. Hotel, yeah. I've been trying to like get into different things too, like go to the museum. Yeah, DM me. I definitely like to brainstorm. The trip couldn't have come at a perfect more better time. I'm like, I'm ready to be done. Goodbye, America. Goodbye. Enough. Um, yeah. So I'll be honest because I was so nervous to come on. And even now we're just talking, but which I'm fine, but I was like nervous because I'm like, oh my God, I need to have a topic. But now I'm just like, this is enjoyable. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Have I considered a meet and greet? No, thank you, Mrs. Van, because I'm like, what? Meet and greet. You guys want to meet me? I'm just a little girl in the Bronx. I know I never really thought about one. I'm scared nobody will show up. Maybe in the summer, and I feel like I don't even want to call it a meet and greet. Like I'm not a celebrity. Like maybe it'll be a meet and hang, something like that. Maybe are you guys in New York? Maybe like a meet and hang, a hang and meet. I like that idea much better. Where do you live, Mrs. Van? It's like a meet and greet, like signing autographs at the meet and greet. Michigan. I know Simply Spice. I know you're in New York. The Netherlands? What? Maybe in the summer. Maybe I'll put that on my aspirational goals list. Meet and greet. I'm literally writing it down. Again, a meet and hang. Hi, Angie. Brooklyn, Kelly. Oh, you're so close. Okay. Okay, fine, everyone, fine. We'll do it in the summer. We're not doing it now. Nobody's coming out 9 degrees. I don't even know if I'll like commit to myself. Summertime. Because that could be fun. I wrote it down on my goals list of something to do. Look at Christina. Let's work out in the AM and do looks and body. She always gonna put a workout in. She want to work out, and then she'll be like, "Oh, let's go walk to the place." Like, no, we're not walking. Maybe that would be like a meet and greet collab with the brand. Like maybe, maybe like a meet and greet. Always wanting to move, Christina. I did not move today. I have to check in. I didn't check in with my best friend for my fitness last week, so I have to check in with her this week. But I think that idea of a meet and greet collab with the brand, like I would love, one of my goals is to do like a in-store event. So maybe I can make it work like that, where it can kind of be, oh yes, I missed that one that Monroe did. I actually went away that time. And then Tashira would like message me like, "Girl, where you at?" I'm like, "I'm on vacation, girl. Couldn't make it." Love Monroe. Monroe's the best. She's like who she is. It's so refreshing when you meet somebody online and they are who they are. Tashira's like one of those two. Like your friend on the screen is your friend in person. She's dope. I love Monroe. Ancora. Shakora's great too. Meet and greet at Kurt Geiger. Okay, Kawana. Now you're talking, right? See, this is where, like, even for myself as a creator, this is where I'm learning too, because like the things that you have to do, even though you want these things, you have to pitch them too, right? So I need to learn how to pitch these things, like pitch these things to these brands to make it work, because they're going to want something out of it, but being able to pitch that. So I'm learning a lot this year, even with consistency and just even my content. Like, okay, what do I want to post and how I'm going to post it? And because life gets busy, even with these 2 videos a week on YouTube is very, very hard, very difficult. Angela, you're the best. Are you coming to New York Fashion Week, Angela? It's a lot happening. It's a lot. I did. You guys are so. I did. I did go to that store in Bed-Stuy. They were awesome. They were my friends at that cafe. All right, let's. Now you guys are holding me accountable, so I want to do it, but in the summer for sure. Like I can make it happen. All the Black-owned businesses that I love. What am I even thinking? I don't need. I might not even need Kurt Geiger. I just thought about that. Oh, I understand, Angela. Oof. At this point, you might see me in New York Fashion Week with the things that I've been wearing. What are your thoughts regarding mentorship? Do you have a mentor? I feel like I kind of have mentorship already. Like my best friend's amazing. She's the best. Just in life, because sometimes just having somebody who knows you personally and just, you could just talk things out very well. And I would like to say, like, Tashira has been amazing. Tashira is my girl. Like, she'll message me, like, I'll say things and she'll message me, like, girl, what's going on? Who we got to fight? I'm like, oh my God, Tashira, please. So she's been great too. She's really like an open book, like somebody I can message who's been doing this for a long time in the entrepreneurial space that I can message, and she'll be like respond, like, you know what I mean, and doesn't feel like she has to hold back. She's really dope. I like her a lot. She's so cool. If I mess her right now, like, Sashar, I need help. Like, what do you think? She'll be like, okay, you need to do this. But she's very, very, very special, and just even somebody I could DM, and of course she's hilarious, but she's the best. Like, she really is. She's another gem for sure. Cause she's like, who did it? She's like, who do I have to fight? I'm like, oh, nobody, I promise. But she's like, she has me thinking a lot too, because like even when I did my video, because she was like, okay, like, so what are we doing? I need Brown Girl Beauty products. I'm like, okay. She's awesome. Mackenzie's mom, she's the best. So I like to feel like that too. And even talking to women who are in my space, like, even with Shakora, just even going out to lunch that day and just like talking to each other. Because sometimes doing this, you're by yourself like all the time and you can get in your own head. So just having these women who look like us that you can just DM and be like, oh, let's meet for lunch and just talk about what you're experiencing, how's content creation, like, oh, I love this. And because sometimes, believe it or not, we get in our own heads. Like, even like Shakora, I was like, girl, like, your videos are amazing. Are you kidding? Like, you know what I mean? Just we be overthinking, thinking that we're not doing a good enough job. And it's like, girl, you're killing it. What? Like, and sometimes people just get it. You know what I mean? You get it, like, oh, how's your views doing? And just being able to have those conversations without feeling like, oh, she's gonna steal my idea. And you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes things could be shady, but it's not like that with people who are in my circle. Well, Angela, you can always ask me. I don't gatekeep at all. Life of Glory Bleeds amazing too. She's another one. She's a gem. Like, we talk a lot quite often, and Selena, sincerely, she's great as well. And women, Black women who are just we get it, you know what I mean, and just wanting to help each other and not feel like we have to gatekeep. Shakur would be going to these jazz places that I have never seen and never heard of, and I need to write them down because she goes to such cool places. I know, Angela. Some people are just like, okay, relax. It's just content creation, babe. Everybody relax. I've had some disappointments. Angela knows that too, and people who know me know, like, disappointed meetings. But for the most part, I would say everybody that I speak to in the space is great. Like, so great. And so helpful. And Angela, that Amazon bag was awful. I didn't tell you. Now we're just having a good girl chat. I'm cool with that. I had things written down that I was like, oh, I want to discuss, but now we're just having a time. So I'm cool with that too. Right. I know, I agree. Gatekeeping is done. But a lot of times, like, sometimes with starting or just on my video, I got a lot of comments like, oh, I just don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. You have to just start. You have to just start. You know what I mean? You have to. You have to figure it out all along. Like, my first videos were awful too. Camera, horrible. Like, you know what I mean? You just have to start with what you have and just start. You want to be on YouTube? Start. Also, too, when you meet other creators, it's nice too, because sometimes it just feels like you're like invisible on these apps. Like, you know what I mean? Like, empowering each other. Yes. And I love Shanae. She's the best too. Shanae's doing so much. Kawana, I was like, oh my God, you're competing. So YouTube figure. I saw. I like your video. You have to just figure it out as you go along. I will say, I know we're talking about consistency, but if you are trying to grow on YouTube and you're just beginning, one of the things I always tell you guys to change your mindset, you have to absorb the content that you are in. So if right now you're in a phase of just changing your mindset, then everything you watch, everything you digest, all the content you see, hell, even on your Instagram feed needs to be positivity, abundance, mindset. But you have to remember that like YouTube is a search engine. Like you have to remember that. It's different. It's different from every other platform. It's Google, it's a search engine. So when you think of things or your topics that you want to do, think of things like answering questions. Like my first videos were like, oh, the Telfar, things that you naturally are doing, like the Telfar bag review, something, a good dupe, something that people are searching and want to know the information so you can answer. Because it's hard, you know, when you're growing, you have to be found, and people find things by searching for what they're looking for, you know? Yeah, that she was in that Brooklyn brownstone. I was like, oh, I gotta check that out. Yeah, scarcity, think big. Half these things on my goal list this year, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it, putting it out there. The scarcity will kill you. Like literally every morning, I'm like, I say my manifestations like money flows to me easily. I'm abundant. I have so many of these cards. Like, I am worthy. They're all around my desk, like literally, because like scarcity mindset will just like kill you. Yes, Pilates is dope. If you come to New York, you got to do the trap house, but like Pilates is awesome. People have scarcity mindset, but people you'll be surprised. Like people think it's like if you share something or you share this, like the other like taking from the other person, it's like not. Janae is doing the absolute most. She is. Yes, like, but it's a search engine. So even like of course January is slow, and I documented that last year, like in my Excel spreadsheet how slow the month is. So it's a good time to kind of catch up. But like I'm thinking like like you have to think for like February, like okay, New York Fashion Week or looks or what I mean, things that people are searching for is always really really helpful. Like when there was like a big drop. I know we're not talking about Target right now, but like Christopher John Rogers, if you were automatically going to buy a few pieces, and blog about them in your size, like you know what I mean, and talk about it. So that really really helps. Simply size, yeah, you'll like Angela. She's great. She's actually a nice person. Oh my gosh. Now I'm thinking, you know how I was like, oh, I'm starting this live series. Now I'm just like, should I just go live every week and we just chat and you guys just ask me questions instead of just making it so like streamlined? What do you guys think? And I did Pilates on the actual former on Friday, and I could barely lift my arms because my core is so tight. I did my workout yesterday, like it was upper body day for my workout that my best friend has done. That's Christina. She gives my workouts. I told you guys that. Check her out with my meal plans, all of that. But like I was doing like planks and I was like shaking. I couldn't even hold it for 20 seconds. True. I've seen a lot of new people too on my feed. But there's so many different things. Like even I know like most people who watch me like fashion and style, but there's so many different niches that I would love to see on YouTube. Like I don't know, like books. Hell, I would want to see somebody talk about plants. Like you know what I mean? There's so many different things and like that people can like upload and talk about that we don't see on YouTube. Or at least I don't. Yes, come on, for real. Do it. You're already doing it. I mean, at first I was like thinking like It's crazy because like before, like obviously it was always my dream to be a full-time creator, but even with my mindset, I always thought like, oh, I always thought that I was gonna be like the corporate baddie, like the girl who had a corporate job and would do this on the side, like, so I was kind of like angry at my job for a while. Like, damn, I just wanted to work and just be a badass on social media and do both, but that was not what God planned for me, so I'm okay with that too. But yeah, just show up. So many people will find you. So many people will do the thing. I would probably say YouTube is probably the most consistent of all the apps. And also too, like with YouTube, even with growing on it, like, of course you get paid, but like they're like a really great brand, like a partner. They treat you like a partner, like you get paid, but they look out for the creators. That's how I feel anyway. Oh, the Coke guy Gap coat. Which coat? Carmen, I've thought about it like a little bit. I'll be honest. Like, I'll still get like things on LinkedIn for positions, and I'm so traumatized. I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm blessed to be in a really good space where I'm not like, oh, I need to go. Like, I'm fine, but I'll see things. Of course, I'll get emails, and I'm just like, do I want to do that? I don't. I just really want something. I don't want to say want something because right now I'm just kind of just letting God guide my steps and just taking it one day at a time. I'm trying not to stress myself out thinking too far ahead. But I just like the flexibility and like work culture is something that's very, very important to me. So, is it an organization that respects work culture and people having real hobbies? And I'm not talking about like somebody who has no life or outside goals. So, it's hard to find companies that are progressive in that way. You know what I mean? And kind of working in the medical healthcare space, I don't feel like those type of companies do that. Maybe not all of them. No, God's plans. Like I just every time I see something, I'm just like, yeah, no. And they DM me like twice, and I'm like, mm. I'm like, I don't know. It's like I was reading the description. I was just like, no, like goals. I'm like, oh hell no. I am very, very happy. Like I feel very, very happy, and I'm just like, I just cannot go back to that place of misery again. I just can't do it. And that's something like if you have a good job that is treats you really good, that is such a blessing because I am just so like, mm-mm. God's plans for me ain't only. I don't think mine's is either. I'm just like, yeah. And I'm blessed. I'm doing very well. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in a good space. I'm not panicked. Money's great. Like, I'm not like, so I'm just like, right now I'm thinking of other things outside, like, like Tashara has been on me, like products and things that I can do that are a little bit outside of that. I feel the same way, Kawana. Like this is my preferred platform. Like I'm on Instagram, but this is home, YouTube. And I feel like YouTube, I mean Instagram, sometimes you don't know what's they're another app that I'm like, oh God, I don't know what to do on there either. I just post what I kind of want and at this point. But even in the summer when I was posting 5 days a week, that didn't really I don't say it didn't help me. It did help, but like I still get the same kind of views by just posting 3 times a week. And I feel a little bit better posting 3 times a week than five. I feel that's a much better cadence for me, like 3 to 4 than every day. And then like I was posting every day and then what did that really do? Yeah. So I'm like, oh, three, you get like 2 or 3 times a week of what I feel like it. But YouTube, I'm committed twice a week. That's because I know my community is going to show up and they're expecting me. Instagram could decide to show you one day, not show you the next day. Have you guys heard anything about the app Fanbase? It's supposed to be a Black owned app. I'm a little confused by it, but I don't know. I'm just thinking of different platforms. I thought about going back to school. I want to go back to school a little. I hate to say later in life, but a little later in life. I really want somebody to pay the school bill. I'm still paying my student loans. I'm like, oh God, please. That just reminded me I forgot to pay that damn bill. Yeah, it's a little confusing. Like I went on, they were talking about a contribution. I'm like invested, but I'm like, okay, what does it look like for viewers who want to be on the app? It's a little. That's the only thing. Sometimes, like we want to be better, like Black owned apps. But I'm like, okay, but I also want it to be like we want it to be streamlined and easy. I just want to get on the app. Like, what is it? Like, I don't want to be confused before I even get on. But just thinking about, yeah, like thinking about like, okay, I want to be in a Black owned platform, but I also don't want to be confused. And then I'm like, it said donation. I'm like, okay, well, am I what? What's happening? At this point, like just bring back Black Planet. I don't even know at this point. At this point, we could go back to MySpace. Is that still working? Black Planet. Black Planet was trying to tell us in the very beginning, but they were another one. They wanted you to pay for everything. Because remember, like to go in certain chat rooms, you had to pay, and even they were like, I'm not paying like those $3.99. They were ahead of the times, Black Planet. Something at this point, we're just trying to figure out like where we can go. How much water? I try to drink at least minimum 2 of these. Minimum 2. I feel like I should be drinking more water than that. Really will help with my digestion. I think that's what Christina wrote in my plan. Let me check my plan. But yeah, definitely being more. I'm just trying to be like more intentional just with everything. I mean, Christina was talking about that earlier, just intentional about everything. What I'm buying, what I'm supporting, all of that stuff. I don't think she said my water. Hold on. I'm just trying to drink at least a minimum 2. And this is what, like 900 milliliters, a little over that. Oh, hi, Joelle. You didn't miss anything. We were just chatting. 70, of course. 70 ounces. See, she's on it like clockwork. My wish list keeps changing like week to week. It's so funny because I'll be like wanting something, and then next week I'm like, I'm over that now. Like remember those? What was that? Like those Louboutin shoes? I'm like, I'm completely over those. Nothing really like that. I'm like, oh my god, nothing yet. Like nothing nothing really like luxury. Yeah, I'm trying not to overwhelm myself. Just taking it one day at a time. We'll see, but I don't know if I don't think I see myself going back into the corporate space, honestly. I need to clean out my closet actually because it's getting really full. I know I get a lot of stuff from brands, but I need to go through it, especially for the season because it's getting a little cluttered again, and just to see what I'm missing and see what I see any holes, anything that I really want or need. I do want a leather blazer. I just looked at my Zara one that's hanging and it's peeling under the neck, and I can't want anything more for it. I had it for years. So I'm looking at things like that. And just even like New York Fashion Week, there's nothing that has appealed to me that I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I like that. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't watch Cora's video yet. She always has something in there. I got like 10 minutes in and then it was time for me to go. But I usually watch her videos like when I'm doing cardio. But definitely like I feel like definitely cool accessories and things like that. Like that coin purse from Coach is really cute. Because I don't really need anything. Oh, you know what I wanted? That Saint Laurent like long wool coat. I did want that. That's what I wanted. But I could still get that in life. Like the padded shoulder, like long one. Is it gonna sell out fast? I feel like that coin clutch is gonna sell out so fast. So for me, what's on my list of consistency for 2025? I definitely need to be more consistent with like my personal brand goals. For sure. Like I think I'm trying to figure out when I want to get certain things done. Like I want to start my email list and things like that, like little things like that, and like have my little own like ebook and things like that. I've been wanting to do. That's been on my list since last year that I haven't done, and not for lack of like slack or anything, just figuring out the time and really putting it as a goal and checking in on it and getting it done because it is a goal. But I've just lost sight of it because sometimes doing all this stuff can be like kind of overwhelming. Like before you know it, you're into the next week editing something else and you didn't work on the things that you had for yourself. So I'm working on that. And I think one of the things that's helping me with consistency for that and working on that is breaking down my year goals into monthly goals. Because I noticed last year the things that I didn't make, like a few goals, I did everything I wanted to do last year, like the big goals, but the little goals, because I never really checked in on them. I wrote it down and kind of just left it. I didn't really like go back into it. So meaning like, okay, if I had that goal of starting an email list, like how did I work towards that last year? I didn't, you know what I mean? Which is fine, but I didn't check in on it. I didn't have a monthly goal for it. I didn't create a small habit. Like, okay, so this month you're going to do X, Y, and Z. So I had planned to do that for next year. And then for what helps with my consistency in general, back to back the actual conversation, I plan my month out. So what I do is like now I have my notebook that has like my vision board on it. Like you can see a little bit of it. And then I have a section for goals and I go over my goals monthly. I have goals in different categories. So like mindset and health, business, and just goals for my personal self. So I'll write those out every month. Then I have a day where I brainstorm like YouTube content. So for YouTube, I have a separate like board and I plan out my content for the month. That way I'm not scrambling. And I kind of know what I'm working towards every week. I try to get ahead. Like I wanted this year to more importantly have days off. So I wanted to have the weekend off. So I've been working really hard to get things done ahead, even though, yeah, it was yesterday's video done. Today's video is done. I just have to do my thumbnail, but just kind of putting everything on here and writing it out has been helpful. So I'm looking at it and I know what's going to be posted when. Now, of course, sometimes like I'll have ideas that just don't work out, but I try to stay on point in that way. And then Instagram, I just take it week to week. I'm like, I don't need to be planning that so far ahead. 2025 joy was my word last year. That's what I wanted to experience. My therapist has me pick a word every year, or stating how it's so funny. Like the word she said when I first met her was like something crazy. It was something so alarming. She was probably like, "What the hell?" And to come out, I was like, when she told me what I said, I was like, "I said that." She's like, "Yeah, you said that." I was like, "Oh my god, whew, things were bad." Thank God to be here today in deliverance. Yeah, girl, I gotta be on it. But to me, like that video was already done. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not really bad. I just have to do my thumbnail, but that was done. And technically this is a video too. So not to overwhelm myself, I said I want to go live every week just to catch up with you guys. I mean, we'll have topics, but they'll probably be loose like this. But when I thought about that, I didn't want to overwhelm myself. But here I could just talk. Like I don't have to edit anything. Like, you know what I mean? So that's 3 times a week plus reels. I mean shorts. It's a lot. I see why people just do this YouTube full time and that's it because like I was mad, well, not mad, but I was like last year I was like, "Oh my god, I really don't have a follow on TikTok." I'm like, "I can't do another app. Like how many apps am I supposed to be on? Like I can't this YouTube takes so much of my time. Like yeah, I'm on Instagram too, but like this takes so much of my time. I really can't give my all to like a TikTok or something like that." But I do YouTube and Instagram are my consistent because that's where I get brand deals. It's a lot. It's a lot of apps. It's a lot. I know there are a lot of people who have like Instagram, TikTok, and they're on YouTube. It's a lot. But I feel like when people are on those apps, they have got to have hired help. They have to. There's just no way. I like YouTube. YouTube is the best. If I like YouTube or Instagram, Instagram is fine. I can't be mad at it because I get great opportunities through there, and a lot of people find me through Instagram. But YouTube is my favorite. That's like my number one. Um, Joya, I will say like between the brand deals, I would say IG did make me the most money in IG deals because I had more. And I think it's just easier. And I have good engagement on Instagram, like really high engagement. So that's what I'm saying. Like YouTube is my favorite, like personally, and what I like, but I can't knock Instagram when I make a lot of money on there. I actually found my therapist on therapyforblackgirls.com actually. Um, and sorry, I found her through Instagram and I emailed her, set up a consultation, and then I clicked with her, and that was that. If you send me a DM on Instagram, I can share her website with you. Somebody asked me that too, and I asked my therapist, "Is she okay with that?" Because I didn't know how she felt. She's like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Yeah, it's like a weekly live. IG, it does seem like it is like commercials. Like I have a brand campaign. It's so funny, like, if my mom sees my stuff, like, she'll be like, "Oh, I saw your commercial today." I'm like, "It's not a commercial, but it is a commercial." She'll, "I saw your commercial." being on YouTube is probably for the best, quite honestly. I am on Pinterest. I've been working like as part of my process now. I've been posting on Pinterest weekly. Like I'll kind of just every Monday just dump everything that I'm already creating the content for Pinterest anyway. Like you know what I'm saying? So every week I'll just post all my things that I posted on Instagram and onto Pinterest. I know that's a search engine as well. I don't really know. I know people monetize it. I'm not really sure how to do that. Maybe I need to be watching that on like YouTube, how to do that. And I mean, I could see, I love Pinterest. Like, I'll just, because Pinterest, you don't have to interact. You could just like post your things. I really like Pinterest. It's definitely becoming one of my favorites, and I'm posting on there like a lot. And like, I don't have to be on there. Like, you don't have to be constantly on there. Like, you can just dump your stuff and like search and be inspired without feeling like you need the social aspect. So I like that. And I like that you could look at different things, like different interests, like whether it's food, whether it's working out, things like that. Yeah. I mean, listen, so a lot of people are mad at influencers for influencing. It's our job. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, not saying there's anything against like overconsumption and like I can't tell you that I'm not going to shop because it's my job to. You know what I mean? It's my job to show you. So, of course you can not buy, but we are in the business of advertising. We're in marketing, you know what I mean? We work in marketing. So people that you watch who are influencers are marketers. That's our job. And again, people have to understand like if you don't want to watch people who do Amazon hauls, then don't watch that person. You got to unfollow that person, you know. Yeah, Pinterest is cool. I like Pinterest. I do feel like on Pinterest though, I see the same people. Like I know there's more on there, but like how do I get more people? Like I had to one time put like not interested. I've seen this picture 1,000 times. Hi Cheryl. I love DC. I just visited there once and I loved it. Yeah, that Free People necklace is the business. That Free People necklace has probably my most worn necklace. I guess maybe Joelle, I'm just looking at my feed a lot, so I'm not really searching for anything. I'm just looking at my feed, and I'm like, okay, I love this girl's style, but I've seen the picture a lot. That's a good question. I don't know. Like, am I a content creator or influencer? I don't know. I feel like they're both the same thing. I know there was like a separate definition for influencer, and it was a separate definition for content creator, but I feel like they're the same. Or they're different. Like there are people, there are so many people like for instance, whose content, who's top tier? Nori, right? You know Noriana. She's dope, right? Or her stuff on her, if you go to her Instagram, I feel like she's a content creator. Like she creates content, this great, amazing content for these brands to like use that's like looks like ads. Content is like top notch. Where I feel like, is she like an influencer or is she a content creator? I would put her more on the content creation side. But influencer, I don't feel like it's so tough because as an influencer, I don't feel like I'm just like, okay, hey guys, so let me show you all the things that you should buy from Target. Like I don't feel like I'm like that either. So it's hard. I feel like I'm a little bit of both. Yeah, thank you, Kwan. I feel the same too. Like I feel like even like a brand that I worked with recently is like it's like a leather cleaner. And I like it worked for my brand because when they reached out, this is what I love about some brands, like when brands reach out and they can mention like content, like, you know what I mean? But, oh, we love that you got this. We think it'll be helpful with this that you posted. That's cool too, because you can see how I flow with your brand. Yeah, Nori's fire. Like the editing, like she could just sometimes I'm like the brands need to just pay her to just use that for their website. Like the content is up there. But I feel like she's a content creator, which is nothing wrong with that. Like her husband, like the editing of his is like top notch. I'm like, I don't even know how you guys think of these things. Hi, Glory. My girl Glow. You were supposed to text me, Glow. We haven't done anything yet. Yes, like Skylar Marche, like her and I believe that's her husband, right? Like they create like dope like advertisements. I feel like she's a content creator, which is amazing. They create like such dope work, things that I would never think about, things that like brands should have these people on their roster to create the content for their stuff. I mean, how do Joya? That's a good question because I don't feel a way, but then the only thing that sucks is like, for instance, like with Urban Revival, I'll tell you guys, like a lot of your favorite faves, we work with that brand. Um, and most of the, if you watch me, we all watch kind of like the same people, and like analytics will tell me that, like if you watch me, you probably watch Nate, you probably watch the Shire, you know what I mean? So my analytics tells me who watches me probably watches the same girls who I watch, right? So Urban Revival will reach out, and yes, for the most part, they'll let you pick what you want, but they'll tell you it has to be from something popular. It has to be something that has full size range. So you might like something that's like a one off, but you can't really do that. But then they'll tell you, okay, from the maybe 8 things that you pick, you have to pick these 3 things. And guess what? Those 3 things ends up being the picks that we all have to pick from. So then it looks like we all are promoting the same sweater, but that's what we're told we have to do. So that sucks. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, like I know everybody's gonna have this sweater, so or like the balloon skirt or all the things that we all have. So I wish I could pick something different, but that's the only thing that sucks about it. Like, yes, you could pick what you want, but then it's like, okay, like they're gonna tell you in the brief, we want you to pick from one of these 3 items because this is what they're promoting. So you have to pick one of those things. And it looks like we all are telling you to buy the same thing, but it's because we had to pick the same thing, if that makes sense. So now you'll know why you probably see the same thing. Or sometimes like I'll get things and I'll say I want this, 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 and then I'll get my package. I'm like, well, what happened to that? Maybe Jamaica gets, and again, I don't know, you know what I mean? Everybody's deal looks a little bit different. Maybe she gets other things that she could pick, but I know for the things that I pick, like they'll tell me I'll get like 3, 4 things, but I have to pick these certain things. So it could be different for everybody. Um, but they want what they want. They want to push the things that they want sold. And sometimes you don't get as free range as you will like. I mean, last time I worked with them, I got to pick a lot more this time. So maybe hopefully they'll see because of, your code and your results. Like I will say sometimes like as an influencer, it's really beneficial if you do things for free and it has to make sense because I started with Urban Revival as a gifted like thing. And then I was able to convert high where I was like, okay, now I did my work. You see what I did? Now I want to be paid because I converted this way and I sold this much. So now pay me. And then like, okay, you know what I mean? So sometimes you have to prove yourself and sometimes it be worth it. Like I know my followers like that brand and they shop there. So me getting a few things and sharing them is something that's natural, but you just have to know when that kind of thing works out. Yes, they pay and they allow you to link. Well, depending, like, so they'll pay you and then you have to use their links, which are tied to your code. I believe my code is Jasmine15. Um, yes, that's exactly why, because that on the brief, that sweater with the sleeves was on the list. You had to pick it. So not that we're just like, you know what, guys, like in cahoots and telling you guys that you have to wear the sweater. I don't even know when their store is opening. Like I saw it in Soho. I posted about it. They reposted it on their thing, their page. I'm like, okay, like I don't know when it's coming. I have no information on it. Maybe I'll ask them. They're opening that store in like Soho. When a brand reaches out, there's always room for negotiation. Like yesterday's price ain't today's price. It's not. When my followers go up, so does my rates. And I look at it as this, like you don't get for what you don't ask for. Brittany Hennessy taught me that. She was like, usually the first number is like they can go higher. You won't know if you don't ask. Like asking doesn't hurt. Like, oh, is there room in the budget? Usually there's always room in the budget. The shipping does take a long time. I will say when I'm working with them, the stuff gets sent out quick, but always negotiate. I'm like, let me ask for a little bit more. Let me ask for a little bit more. Because usually the first number is usually the lowest. And even if it's a good number, I always like push a little bit more. Like, oh, well, since I'm doing this and this, I recently got some UGC work and I was like, oh, they were like, oh, you charged us last time. I'm like, oh yeah, but that was last year. This is this year. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I didn't know they had a big store in China. I mean, I'm not sure how big this store will be. It was right on Broadway in Soho, but it looked big enough. I'll say that. Any new brands I'm loving? I have to think. I haven't tried anything new, but I'll have a video coming, I believe the second, that'll have some newer brands that I'm checking out because I think we all need a refresh. I need a refresh as well for some new brands. Um, I've noticed some creators. YouTube continues to pay. So if you watch like a Jackie Ina's like old videos, if you watch, she still gets a check. You know what I mean? You still are those old videos are still monetized. So they might not get as many views as like new uploads and new, but you'll still get a check. So somebody who has a big influence like her has those views just coming in naturally for just people watching, she'll get paid for sure. And I'm sure like when you have bigger creators like that, they just kind of venture off into other businesses and they just probably just stop. I don't, stop posting, but I don't know. I don't have a favorite trend right now. I think right now, like seeing more of like the plaid. I like that a lot because I love plaid. Oh my God, Mrs. Van. So yes, I wear the white Margiela jeans, right? I still wear them, love them. And one of my biggest regrets was not getting the blue ones in Paris that time. Like I feel like I should just got both. And even though I have like the dupe, the way that the Margiela jeans like fit, like even the white ones that they just like come down straight, is something that I just would love to have. And when I checked them out just to see how much it was, just on a whim, they have like doubled in price, and I'm just not paying $900 for jeans. So I'm not paying $900. So I have like Google Price Alert for them if they go down, but I'm not paying $1,000. Like, especially when I know I got those white Margiela jeans for like $400 in Paris. I'm not giving y'all $900, even though I love them and like I wear the white ones a lot. I don't think so. I don't think I don't think so. I don't think barrel jeans are over. They're gonna be, I still feel like they're gonna be heavy and maybe we'll see, I feel like we'll see more tapered ones. Like I don't feel like some might be as dramatic, but I don't think they're over. What? I like them. Maybe like, I love a good baggy jean. I just think maybe a little bit more tapered, maybe. But then also too, I think with the barrels, like I will wear them just kind of like a mom jean. Like I will wear them whenever I want to, whether they're trending or not, because I like how they fit. So it just depends what you like too. Because if you like a straight leg fit, then you can wear a straight leg fit. You don't have to. I think some people think when something's trending, they can't wear something else. So you could just wear whatever, but I do like them. But sometimes, like with those Margiela jeans, like sometimes, like if I was going out with like a top like this, like those jeans would just be like kind of more straight rather than like sometimes I want like a straighter fit rather than like a barrel outfit, if that makes sense. So yeah, but $900 is just no, and they're not in the outlets either. But I like how they fit. So, you know what I mean? So, like, even if they're out, like, I like that fit. Right. But if you prefer tapered, then you could buy tapered, like you don't have to stop. So, true. We have to stop tossing out trends after 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying. If you like how they fit, then you like the barrel jeans. If you don't, then that's fine. You can do the other jeans that fit well for you. Some people like the skinny and they look good in that. Wear that. You know what I mean? Just wear what you like to wear. But I actually like the barrel jeans a lot. I just found sometimes like I have a straight fit Abercrombie jean that I do like, but I always remember like in like my skinny jeans, not that I hate them because with boots they're fine. I just always felt so uncomfortable in them. I have bow legs, and when I saw the barrel jeans, I was so when I tried them on, it was a hard no. Stop not laughing at you. And I can totally see that. Like, I can see how some people just don't like them, and that's fine too. I feel like if you are not really into them but want to try them, I tried on the ones from the Gap, and they come out a little bit, so a little bit more tapered. I like a little bit more dramatic, but they're a good fit barrel if you don't like the over big ones and you just want to try it and you're just not quite sure. They have some good ones, but I enjoy it. I haven't worn them as much now because like I want to wear like with like heels and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I'll be wearing for sure in the spring. I feel like now I just been in freaking Old Navy tech leggings. That's why I haven't worn them. But even the jeans I'm wearing today are the rag and bone jeans, like the taper wide leg. Love these two. um, yes, Wednesday I'm actually going to Jamaica with my mom. We're going to Negril. I just booked our freaking thing, our travel from Montego Bay. That did come back. You gotta. I think I will be vlogging, but I'm not sure of the trip yet. I've never been to Negril, but my mom, she capris. They call them capris. Um, it's her friends, like one of her friends' 60th birthday. So she's celebrating her birthday, and there's all these directions, and I'm like, Ma, I'm not following these directions of Donna's per party. So I'm sure, like if I vlog, I'll vlog a little. I just don't know what I'm gonna get into day to day since it seems like a birthday schedule. She sent me the schedule, but I will. I'm sure I will. Oh, we're doing excursions, so I probably will vlog. I don't know about she has these other directions. I'm not following these other directions. I'm to my mom. That's your friend. Let me see the schedule. Ricky's Cafe. No, but I'll put that on the list. Rick's Cafe. Now I'm about to Google Knickerbockers. Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, they have some on Etsy. These are cute. Y'all know I will rock these right now. Yeah, I'll check it out. I've never been to Negril, so I've been to like Montego Bay. My brother, what did he get married? He got married in, I think, Montego Bay. So I've never been to Negril, and it's crazy. Like I didn't think I'll be visiting Jamaica so soon from last year, but I definitely can't wait to check it out. Mhm. No, I know. So like at first we couldn't find any straight flights to go into Negril, so I guess that airport is very, very small, so we couldn't really find any flights to go there. So when I was doing the research, I was like, oh, it's a 1.5 hour a 1.5 hour drive. These are really cute, those from Etsy. I'm like, wait a second. They're really cute. But I saw that it's like an hour and a half. I was like, oh my God, let me book this van so we're not scrambling in the airport. Of course, my mom's like, did you do it? I'm like, yes, I did it. But yeah, I'm glad you guys hopped up on my live. We have to do it again next week. We'll have topics, but then they'll just end up being just random discussion because I feel like that's just like easier. I appreciate you guys. Time on a Sunday. Anybody doing anything? Yes. I'm glad. I'm glad. I know we were off topic, but I have other topics and we could talk about them. But again, I like live because you can just talk about the things, but talk about everything else. My boyfriend told me, I was like, I'm hungry. He's like, oh, the game. I'm like, but I'm hungry though. Oh my gosh. Christina's getting her life together. Your life is together, Christina. She's crazy. She'll be more on the channel. She comes, well, when I get back, she comes. So she'll be in probably the New York Fashion Week vlog, having me, we'll probably walk to get dinner, right? So she'll be here. Oh, nice. Oh, I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. I love it here. So let me get my thumbnail up so I can post my video later today. Abby. And I'm gonna tell her like in the next vlog, I told you guys she's well, pretty much she's an athlete, trainer, all of that, a Black owned business, getting my body together. She's the best. Approachable. I told you. I was like approachable, Black, all the things. Getting my body together for summer 2025. Jamaica's gonna just get what I got right now, but 2025 we outside. But yes, thank you guys for coming to the live. Wear what you want. Nothing's going out of trend. Wear what you want. Do what you want. Have a great Sunday. Bye.